everyone, and welcome to another Let's Build a House series. I think this is part 5, I believe. We get to get 2 of the rooms taken care of in this part. So the first room, I do tend to kind of bounce around a little bit from rooms to rooms. It just kind of depends on which room I, and feel like doing, and in this case I end up doing the library area. So picked a nice wood. I don't think I've ever used that wood pattern before, honestly. But just going through and deciding what kind of patterns and everything like that, and so that we go ahead and do this room, and just kind of trying to decide what kind of color I wanted to go with. And a lot of times I choose like a really bright red or a green or something for the library area, but this time I decided to go kind of more of a golden color, I guess you could call it. So then a few more bookshelves to match our hidden door, of course. And then there's where the desk is going to go. And then I realized, yes, this is supposed to be the library, not the office. I realized I think sometime after I did this room, actually, that the computer isn't supposed to be there. I don't get it taken out quite yet. It's still there. So hopefully I remember to remove that computer, because I want a library and an office, 2 separate rooms. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to move that computer somewhere else. So but just kind of trying to go find different kinds of knickknacks and things that I can maybe use and try to clutter it up a little bit with. And I decided to go with a little sitting area right here. So I definitely think this house is going to be fun to decorate. It's going to be lots of rooms, lots and lots of rooms and lots of ideas. Some of them are still up in the air on what I'm doing exactly. So and then I have other rooms that I have in mind of what I want them to be, but whether or not I'm going to be able to accomplish it, I don't know. I have ideas for some of the secret rooms, not necessarily what they're going to be, but how to make them even more secretive. So that'll be fun to see when that time comes. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that portion of it after they're fully furnished, or when exactly I'm going to do that type of room, but we'll find out, I guess. So I have some ideas for them anyway. And I thought, why not go ahead and have a little painting easel in the room, and add a few things to the table that you would use to maybe use to paint with. A cup with paintbrushes and stuff, I think, is one of the items. And just going through and doing some more recoloring. Sometimes I recolor as I go, and sometimes I do a whole bunch of it towards the end. And here I decided to go with kind of like I don't know, not really a hunter green color, but a darker green color. I thought would be a nice color to accent the, go with the wall color and stuff would be nice. And then I realized that the chair was already colored for us, so we didn't have to do that one. But just going through and doing some more final touches. This room didn't take me too long. The next room I do, of course, it took me a little bit to get the layout figured out, so that one takes a little bit longer, but this one is just about done. I think I add a few more wall hangings, and that's really about all I end up doing. Oh, and I put the globe in. I remember, yes, I put the globe in right here. I always forget about that when I'm doing an office, but yeah, we end up putting a globe in here, and I thought I would do something a little bit different with those pictures. I know they're the exact same, but the fact that they're uneven just gives it a little bit of a different look. And now I'm just going through, just checking to see where I need to add lights to. A lot of times after I've added lights, I will turn the lights off, or darken the outside, so I can see exactly where I need to add more. That way we make sure we've got plenty of lights when we're playing in the house. Just going through looking for a few more clutter items. After all, this is the library. There's bound to be books on the floor, so Now I'm going to go through and decide where and what doors we're going to use for the rest of the rooms. Try to figure out where they all are going to connect in at, and what rooms do you have to go through to get to the other ones. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So we use a variety of different doors. I really like these arch doors. I thought they looked really nice. They went with that front door very nicely. So then I thought I'd use this other archway. We're not going to keep them all arches. I actually end up inserting a door inside of them. It gives them a nice, like a window above the door, so it makes them look nice. So we're just getting all the doors placed, and then I believe it's called the Mags door. I think it's a base game, I'm not sure, but I choose a stained glass that looks a little bit nicer for it. However, I'm not sure if I like the door in every place that I put, so like I think it does look in certain areas of the house, but I don't know about putting it in every door, like for instance the bedroom door or the bathroom door, and like the master suite door and stuff like that. So leave your comments below on what you think on that door. I do like it in some areas, but I'm not sure about all of them. And then we go ahead and move on to the kitchen. This is where I spend a majority of this video is probably here in the kitchen, because the other half of the video was included the doors and the library room. So I do spend a little bit of time trying to figure out the layout of this room, because I wanted the turret area, of course, to be a like a little I can't even think what that's called, like a kitchen nook area is kind of what I was thinking. So I was trying to figure out how I could do this. It definitely changes. It does not stay like this because this looks really stupid. It didn't really look very good. It looked horrible and I didn't like it. In fact, I hated it. So, but I was really struggling trying to figure out how to get this to work. And we're coming to about the way I end up figuring it out. We end up having a bar. I wasn't originally going to have a bar in the kitchen because I wasn't too sure there was really enough space for it, but this ends up being, for the most part, the way it's going to end up looking. And I just went ahead and put in a few counters into the butler's pantry, is what that's called, just for the time being. And now I'm just kind of working on what kind of wall colors and stuff that I wanted. I do spend a little bit of time on this. I end up going with this, well, not that wallpaper, the one with the little flowers is one I end up choosing. That one right there. So so we try to make some tile backsplash. I try to go with that wallpaper. I'm not 100% certain if I particularly like it all that much yet. I do go through various colors, several, as you can see, lots of colors. So, but yeah, just going through and trying to figure out, like I said, I spent quite a bit of time on those colors. Mainly what I like to do is have mostly one color of tile and then have like an accent color, and that's what the green is there, is to try to help bring out a little bit of that green. So we do end up changing some of it a little bit and do a little bit different in the walls, and I try to match this wall up to match the color, the creamy color of the tile there next to it. I don't want to use the wallpaper, as you can see, but I'm trying to get it to look as close as I can. With it being a different texture, sometimes that does make it a little bit difficult, but I do think I come pretty close. So that's ended up being the main wall color that we end up choosing, and I decided to go ahead and make the butler's pantry the same color, so that's why I went ahead and colored that real quick. And then these shelves are from Into the Future, and I like using these because they're not quite as big and bulky as the other shelves, And of course you can, once you recolor them and stuff, you can get rid of the light behind, so that's nice. I'm glad you can do that. So 'cause these are much nicer, I do like these much better. I'm just going through and recoloring the counters. I decided at this time that I was going to keep the countertop the way it was to start with. So in here I am just recoloring a few things, and we're going to go ahead and clutter up that cabinet area a little bit. That's kind of like where you would, I'm not sure what you would do over here. Maybe this would be where you make your pies or something, I don't know. But we do use a little bit of store content. I use the cookbooks, I believe it is, and the flour from the bakery. So if you don't have that, then that flour packet and those books won't be, you won't get that with the download when this house is finally done. So like I said, I'm gonna try not to use too much store content. I apologize for the few items that I have used. So I'm just going through looking for some more clutter items. I like to clutter up as much as I can. So mainly all we have left is doing the floor. We're going to probably put some marble in, and then some wall hangings, and recoloring the lights. I end up changing them again, changing their colors. I end up going with more of a bluish color instead of green in this room. So here we're just working on the floors. Going to end up changing them to a marble is what I end up choosing, because I really didn't like anything that I was coming across. So we're going to go ahead and try a marble for right now and just see how that looks. I end up picking a smaller tile with smaller squares, so that I think that looks much nicer. And then we kind of give it a cream color is kind of what we choose, and I thought that kind of warmed up the floor a bit, so like a beige color. So now we're just going to work on the breakfast nook here. This gave me some fits. I had to change the bar a little bit just to get the table to go in. I wanted at least a couple of chairs that worked, but I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below on this breakfast nook table and the bar, and what you think we should do with it. As you can see, when the move objects are off, you can't place it. So it's all because that one counter right there was there, and by changing it to something else, which I'm not sure if I like the way it looks, then it fits. But again, I don't know how much I actually like that. So let me know below what you think of the kitchen and the kitchen nook below, and we'll either leave it or maybe we'll change it. So I'm just going through recoloring the chairs. This is when I decided to go with a different accent color, which ends up being a blue color instead of the green. So then we'll go through and change everything to go with that instead. So but we're getting about ready to be at the end of this video, less than a minute left. So thank you for watching. Any suggestions down below, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will take any suggestions into consideration. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.